Starting it. No. Oh, there we go. I'm in. That's so weird, man. It's so weird. I don't understand. Anyway, YouTube people. What bugs a system admin like is my inability to reboot his systems. He loses his flipping crap on me. But I need to maintain patches. Yeah, it's always it's always the maintain the system, you know, make sure that the system is patched. And I think where sometimes there's a little friction is that, you know, a DevOps or a other sysadmins are like, well, if I update these programs or these, you know, libraries, what's it going to break? And more importantly, am I going to know something's broken somewhere else because these systems were updated, which really sucks, right? You're just like, oh, I'm just patching some code and restarting it, right? But then all of a sudden, something, you know, some other system was using no longer works. And the unfortunate thing is you don't know about it until a month later when the guys that are crunching the numbers are like, our revenue's down like 30%. What's going on? And then you're like, shit. So then everybody's in your business trying to figure out what's going on. It's been a month, so you already feel like a failure for missing it. And then you find out that, you know, some program or some application that was, you know, working fine before the update is no longer working. And because you weren't monitoring the logs for that particular application, right? So then you build a bunch more infrastructure to support being able to catch that the next time. And then the cycle repeats itself, right? It kind of sucks. Anyway, YouTube fam. The stream didn't start up the way it should have when I fired up the stream this morning on with the OBS software. An oversight on my part. Anyway, I need to look at Roblox. Someone was telling me Roblox was on fire. Why didn't that work? What did I do wrong? Did I break something? Oh no, that's weird. That's very weird. Roblox moving much higher here. I like that. Blowing through a bunch of alerts I have at 40. So Airbnb had earnings after the bell yesterday. They're maintaining their altitude. I mean, down a little from the peak highs, but again, definitely still higher and higher than when I'm gonna sell. So that'll be nice. Tootsie Roll had earnings. They're thinly traded. There's really not a bid there. Pre-market after hours, so we'll move on quickly. TripAdvisor, however, they had earnings, right? There's somewhat of a bid there. Also remaining in the higher altitude. Analog Devices had earnings this morning. It looks like I missed a nice opportunity to sell some of that. 180. Which one of these can I sell at? Definitely not that one. That's an old one. Let's get rid of that one. Well, let's get rid of 188.44. What about this one? This is the one. This is the one I can act on, right? What is it? 189.89? So 189.90. All right, I'm putting in the order to sell some ADI at 189.90. And then what's 191? All-time high. Very nice. All right, so I may have missed ADI selling it pre-market here. Let's look at Kraft Heinz. They had earnings after or pre-market today. They're all over the map. And more importantly, still stuck between two trade levels. My ADI just sold. Very nice. Very nice. Ryder. Ryder had earnings. Not really moving much. Like, and not really a bid there. Like, I'm determining if there's a bid just based on the spread between bid and ask. It's $3. Like, generally not something you want to see for a stock that's moving pre-market or after hours. So it looks like we're going to have to wait till after the open for Ryder. It looks like EPS beat and sales beat, which is basically what I look at and then move on. Krispy Kreme's donuts. Had earnings this morning. They're moving higher. Still got a little ways to go. It feels like that's a big move. It's a big move. I might have to make a note to look at Krispy Kreme's here. Oh, once I get caught up. Generac had earnings this morning. They look like those prints. Again, not a lot of liquidity here. Pre-market. Just basing that on the bid-ask spread. So we'll have to wait for that one to open up. But Generac, most of the single prints, though, are printing higher. EPS beat, but sales missed slightly. And last but not least, Roblox, which we already looked at. Roblox on fire. On fire. Walgreens Boots had a dividend today. You had to own this yesterday. Walgreens Boots. Zion Bank had a dividend today. CVX. Firms up 4.65. That's very nice. That's not on earnings though, is it? CVX had a dividend today. Or hold on a second. Why does it look like CVX reported? Was that just... Yeah, I've already looked at Roblox. Twice, actually. Affirm. See, I don't... Let's see here. Affirm closed at 13.10. I got it at 13.23. So it's not moving on. It's not moving on my chart. And I tend to trust the data I see for Thinkorswim, but so you might want to. Where are you seeing that data that affirms up 4.65%? Let me go back to see. Oh, you're saying you're up 4.65% from yesterday. Okay, cool. All right. Stock, CVX. Oh, that's just their dividend. I'm just being stupid. CVX, they had a dividend, and then Microsoft had a dividend today. After the bell today, I'm tracked. They've got earnings after the bell today. Nutrien. They have earnings after the bell today. And Zillow. Zillow. Tracking Zillow earnings after the bell today. And that's kind of like your roundup. There are some earnings, by the way, everybody. If you want to follow along what Jay Jared's watching today, tomorrow, there's your list. Thank you, Houston. You're a great American. I'm trying to think who says that. There's somebody I used to listen to, and that's what he would always say. He would be like, thanks. Like someone would say thanks to him, and he'd be like, thanks, you're a great American. And I was just like, oh, I gotta stream JayJaredLive. Hold on. Hey, buddy. www or twitch.tv/JayJaredLive. Let's see, is it coming? Oh, it's gonna take me to Chrome. There I am. In the flesh. JayJaredLive. Good stuff. All right, so we sold some ADI here this morning. That's nice, right? Here we go, here we go. What else we got going on? Markets, you know, a little heavy this morning. I feel like this is a fillable gap though. If your futures, you know, you futures traders, you SPY traders, you know, options traders, this feels like a fillable gap to me. Like, the economic data is good. The only thing that might move this thing short term down is someone talking it down, right? Fed speak. I don't know who's on the docket today. We do have Lagarde speaking at 9. That's a 3-star event. We also have capacity utilization here coming up at 9:15. Industrial production, manufacturing production. You can kind of get a sense of how the producers are doing as far as workload. And then at 10:30, we've got crude oil inventories, gasoline inventories. There have been some pretty big builds, which generally isn't something you like to see, you know, if the economy is robust. So much fuel consumption occurs when companies transport things, right? Transport, you know, products. And so if you see oil and gasoline builds, it means there's not as much demand. And why wouldn't there be as much demand? Why aren't people in their cars? Why aren't companies transporting goods? Now, the data series is a little noisy. Like 1 week could be way up, another week could be way down. But I think last time I checked, it was 4 or 5 or 6 consecutive weeks of builds. So definitely something to kind of keep an eye out for. And we just wait. I will get that ADI sell in. Like I said, I just sold some ADI at I got to fill at 190. I put in an order to sell some at 189.90 and they gave it to me for 190. So someone in there sweeping everything up. That's a good sign. Node +5. So we'll go ahead and we'll set the alerts for the next buy and sell. Let's go left. Let's go stock ADI. And Durham 190. Get rid of that inventory, baby. I bought a fair bit through August on that move down. Starting in August, I bought 4 times on the way down. And then I sold 2 times back on the way up, right? So +2. Then it came down. I bought a piece, so +3. And now I've sold 2 pieces, so +1 shares since August. Next piece I sell, not until 199.50. Which, in that piece that I'm selling, I would have bought at I bought at 170.47. So there you go. There's the JayJared system in action, right? Just accumulating. At this point, I'd have to do the math and look at the spreadsheet, but I think the 6 pieces I owned are pure profit. It's a pure profit trade for me right now. And I've got to stock now that's paying me every quarter for 6 pieces. And I've preserved my initial capital, right? Like I said, it's pure profit. I'm growing the position. I've gone from 5 units in the ADI and hotel ADI to 6. I think. I mean, I have to look. So, very nice. Always nice to see. I did some reboots yesterday. Let me pull open my my VNC here. This is the Ledger VNC. All right. What? Let's finish setting up your PC. All right, we can do this. Use to recommend. Don't update my browser. Every time Windows does a major update, they're like, have you thought about switching to Microsoft Edge? You would love Microsoft Edge. It's the best. Funny you should say that, Microsoft. Funny you should say that. Not now. Just such a pain in the ass. Like Microsoft always trying to like, oh, here comes the ad for Office 365. I can feel it coming. Nope, there it is. I'm getting 50% off of Microsoft 365. Microsoft 365 family. I actually need to get this. I might actually pull the trigger on this. For the first year. After that, it's $99. Share one convenient subscription with up to 5 other people. I need to do this. And I'm getting 50% off for my first year, so I'm actually going to do it. Name. It's a business write-off. Because my current subscription is through my previous employer. I'm unemployed. And so, yeah. All right, so that's done. Let me fire up the ledger. I need Office. I needed Office. I don't need it anymore. I just bought it for $50 for a year. I don't mind spending $50 for Office 365 for a year. It's fine. Thank you, though. One of these days, I need to get back in the stock market active investing. I really like automating the process in some ways. Almost got into API stuff, but I backed off. Yeah, I mean, part of my active investment strategy is taking advantage of, you know, my engineering background to automate certain tasks. And I've automated a lot of tasks. Like I've automated the setting of alerts. I'm growing that. So it's just it's just getting around to it. The active investing gets in the way. But I feel like there's so much opportunity. Let me set these alerts for ADI. Oh, I already did. Never mind. I'm looking at it on the screen. Time and energy. Time. Yeah. Exactly. Plus, you know, as you know, being an engineer, you're always looking at, well, you're always thinking about different ways to do something and like, all right, well, I know I can do it this way and I could probably get it done, but is now a great opportunity to learn how to do it this way so that I've got something else I can throw on my resume that says I sort of know how to do it. Nice job, Houston. Nice job. Congratulations. Pats on the back are free, right? That's the attitude I gotta have. You like it better than EVGO? I mean, they're both, you know, on the JayJared stock scale, they're both. EVGO's probably a little spicier than AFRM, but they're both sort of trashy stocks. But I mean, that's a lot of meme stocks, honestly. I feel like EVGO and AFRM are both just meme-y kind of like stocks. It's like a go-to for people that like to scalp. I don't like to scalp, so, you know, it is what it is. All right, so I got some of that EGAN. Did I ever mark EGAN down yesterday? Me buying it? Let me go back to my watch list. And now we just wait for the markets open. We got 15 minutes till the market open. Is there anything else I wanted to touch on? Need to fix. I see something I don't like on my point of control display. I don't like. By the way, I was looking at points of control yesterday. Or for yesterday, and on the S&P and the RUT, like the point of control was like the same as it was yesterday. There's like no movement in those indexes as far as where the most volume traded hands compared to the previous day. Like we basically just moved higher and lower, but ultimately chopped around at the same spot we chopped around the previous day, which is kind of funny considering CPI was released and it was like supposed to be like this big deal, right? I do like the pullback on S&P down, you know, about 20 points. We're going to open up here down about 20 points. I've got a SPY. I'm short a SPY put and a SPY call in a very narrow range. My short call is 412. My short put is 405. And we've got now what? 3 days. 3 days till expiry. And I've got about, I think it's about $400 of extrinsic value. I'm looking at extrinsic. It's about $400 in extrinsic value in those guys. That, you know, so between now and Friday, if SPY stays between that 405 and 412, like I make $400 doing nothing. Something up with Twitch viewership today? Yeah, you're not the first person that said that, NW Taxman. Wondering, and I was wondering the same, like it's been really quiet. Does Twitch have a status? Hold on a second here. Status, Twitch. Let's see. Do they have a status page? Twitch status. Twitch status. Status dot says everything's operational. Doesn't necessarily mean everything's fine. It just means that they're so busy trying to track it down that they forgot to update the status page. But yeah, it's quiet. I feel like it's quiet too. Let me check out other streamers, and they're not. Well, Trey's still over 100. Yeah, no, I mean, I see other streamers with decent numbers. So, it is what it is, man. Gap and crap? No, I think they'll try to fill it. But yeah, gap and crap would be nice, actually. But I mean, I've been disappointed with, you know, the market as far as it doing what I want to do versus what it is doing. So would it? A plan tray? Whatever. You picked a bad airline. I would love the dump and filling crap. Oh, no idea. No idea what happens once they fill it. But generally speaking, on a gap, they're going to try to fill it. And what's great about watching the gap is that you can really gauge who's strong, at least early on. Is it the bulls? Is it the bears? If the bulls fill the gap, they're strong. If the bulls come up short and like really short, like draw a fib retracement between the low of the opening bar and the previous day's close. And watch the levels. Watch the 23.6. Watch the, 38.2. Watch the 50. And watch the 63.8. Right? Watch those fib retracements, and then that will tell you, you know, if they roll over after they get the 23.6 or 23.8, I forget it, then you know that the bulls aren't strong. Does the first 15 to 30 minutes really mean anything? I mean, it's nice to watch, but it definitely means something, because that's where remember, the institutional money doesn't really play pre-market. Like they don't care. Like the volume's low, but when markets open up and they're positioning for the day, random blather, it is time. Like they're gonna adjust their positions. They're gonna look for the deals if everything's on sale. But generally speaking, that first hour of trading, like they're waiting to see how things shake out. But you know, keep in mind, if the shorts were short overnight heading into the market, they're gonna take profits, right? If they're short, they're gonna take profits, which means they gotta cover up their short, which is essentially buying, right? And so you've got that momentum, plus you've got people that are like, damn, markets are lower and I need to add to my positions. I'm going to buy stuff on sale. So you've got that momentum. Now, if the mentality has changed, right? And not every market participant is the same, but if the mentality's changed and they're like, I need to get out, I need to reduce my exposure, I don't like what's going on based on, based on whatever, then, you're going to see people holding on to their shorts. You're going to see people waiting. What the heck? I'm going to close that. So, thank you, Houston. You're a great American. So, 2 minutes to go. I'll get the screens ready. We'll fire this up. Oh, shit. What'd I do? That's the one I want. Let's go. Great hunting, everybody. Great hunting. How much time do we got? Oh, we got plenty of time. I need to delete that.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the main event. Let's get ready to rumble!
All right. Who's ready?
Y'all ready for this?
JayJaredLive on the YouTube, JayJaredLive on Kick, JayJaredLive on, of course, JayJaredLive on Twitch. Here we go. I'll wait for things to shake out here. Holy war. We got some work to do, don't we, boys? There we go. All right. Let's start. Let's start with Airbnb. That one was the one that was actually, you know what? Let me get Tesla in there. Tesla has to move, generally moves. DraftKings, AFRM moving higher as well. Holy crap-a-noli. Here we go. Here we go. Let's start with Roblox, or I'm sorry, let's start with Tesla. $210.25 was where I could sell it. Let's see where we're at now on Tesla. Oh yeah, Tesla's moving. We'll sell a piece of Tesla here. We sold at 213.40. Taiwan Semiconductor was moving lower. I did want to pick up some of this. Supposedly, Warren Buffett's 13F came out yesterday after the bell, and it indicated that he sold a bunch of Taiwan Semiconductors. So we're going to buy some because that's what we like. We like when people are weak hands are buying, or we like when weak hands are selling, because that's when we buy. So we'll buy a little Taiwan Semiconductor here. We're really just buying it 5% lower than we last sold it. Airbnb. Airbnb on fire today. Oh, I should probably have these up. Gap, they're attempting to fill the gap here, at least early on, of course. Let's see how strong they are. Airbnb, let me open up that. Let me open up Robinhood. I rebooted my Ledger laptop last night. I've got a laptop dedicated just to my spreadsheets. I mean, I've got some other stuff going on there as well, but it's primarily the spreadsheets. Fubo moving higher. That's nice to see. We'll take a look at that later. Not a priority. I'm going to sell a piece of Airbnb here because it's like monster move. We're going to sell a piece now. I bought 2 pieces on this move down on that an Airbnb. Oh, I'm not even there yet. Stop Airbnb. Did I reset a bunch of alerts? No, I just had a lot. I just had a lot of stocks that were like near the top. All right, Airbnb. Sold some of that. ADI I already took care of. TripAdvisor. Silver's moving lower. Roblox. Let's sell some Roblox. Let's look at Roblox. Yeah, dude. 115, 130. I might sell another piece of Airbnb here, if I'm being honest. 115. Buy, sell. Buy, sell. How many pieces of Airbnb do I have left? I'm now profitable in my Airbnb too. I should sell another piece, but let's just move on here real quick. We got a lot of alerts early on. Roblox. Hit me up. I feel like I bought at least 2 or 3 pieces of Roblox on this recent move down. They're moving higher. That's freaking great. I bought 1, 2, 3 pieces of Roblox on that move down. We're now above that previous high. How many pieces of Roblox? I own 28 pieces of Roblox. Cost basis is $44.96. I bought it $38.09, $35.75, and $33.78. So we're definitely selling the piece we bought. We're definitely selling the piece we bought yesterday at $33.87. See, we almost caught the bottom tick on that one, didn't we? Damn, what's the low here? 33.68. I got it 33.87. All right, so let's sell a little Roblox here. I could probably sell more, but I am a big fan of letting your winners run. Markets continue to show relative strength here. Dollar weakening a bit, at least relative to the highs. If the dollar is weakening, that will be a good headwind or a good tailwind for stocks as well. VIX continues to move lower. I got another alert for EGAN. Jesus, this thing is sinking like a stone. Time to buy some, right? 865. What's 10% below 865? $865. $778. All right, let's set an alert. $202,302 14 plus 1 TD. Fix lower, cheaper puts. Yeah, you're guessing no nickel beer night. I wouldn't do that. That's a surefire way to lose a lot of money. But if that's the way you want to play it, play it. We don't like to guess. You cut your losses super quick. Yeah, I mean, if you have the discipline to do so, but most traders don't. And it's, we can say we're disciplined, right? But that's how you blow your account. I agree. Especially if you're going to trade that way. Silver, I did get an alert for some silver. Interesting. Interesting to see silver moving lower on what, you know, what has been, I think, generally good economic news. Because silver, while it is a precious metal, it's also an industrial metal. And so I like to watch copper, I like to watch silver. And when those guys move down, you're like, what's going on? Like, especially, I mean, it is a stronger dollar, so that's definitely going to put downward pressure on precious metals. But why is copper down almost 2%? Right? A lot of traders think this is the only one. There definitely is always an opportunity It's just do you want to have to always look for the opportunity, or do you just want to kind of know what you like and trade it? Yeah, it's like finding the right time and the right place is stressful, and it'll wear you out. It'll wear you down. All right, markets catching a bid here again. It's that trend line. That trend line is, you know, it's broken down a few times, but the buyers always seem to step in there. Right? And so that trend line on futures has been in place here. I'll pull it up for you guys. Where is it? Here's your trend going all the way back to the 6th of January. As you can see, it's kind of broken down. I've got two trend lines here. They're kind of hard to see. Apologies. But you've got this one all, you know, starting back here. We had a few touches. It's broken down a few times. And then we got this more prominent other trend line, which has broken down as well. So as long as we stay in between those two ranges, I'd say it's 50-50. And this, if I'm looking at it on a longer time frame, feels like it's rolling over. Big money don't care about those lines. Exactly. Exactly. Big money don't, like, it's... Well, let's see if the big money's going to play today. Right now, hard to tell. I don't think there's any, no indication as of yet. So, alrighty. What else was I looking at? Roblox, EGAN. I set the alert for EGAN. Silver, I reset the alert for. I got an alert for MicroStrategy. Let's see if it's still higher. Let's go left. Stock or left. It would be awesome if I could chain these together. What jazz playlist am I playing today? Here, it's actually just like a live stream. Today, this is what I got going on. All right, MicroStrategy moving higher. That generally means Bitcoin and Ethereum are also moving higher, which is never a bad thing, right? We love that. We love that. Above 277.08. Robinhood is... We're going to sell a piece of MicroStrategy here. We sold it at 278.40. We'll set an alert to sell some more at 293. 16 will buy more at 263.64. Nice move higher though on MicroStrategy. Just relatively speaking over the last three, since earnings really. it kind of faded. And then all that FUD. You think algo has ruined the market? Do I think algo has ruined the market? No, I think it's no. I think it's good. I just don't think algos run the market. I did hear about the trade desk. I don't own any. And so it's hard for me to get excited about the trade desk. Plus, I come from that space. And it's just a very volatile space. They are one of the better companies in the space, though. I'm going to buy some Norfolk Southern here. They've really been selling off on the news, which is generally what I like to do. Like, news is noise. Norfolk Southern isn't going out of business. Yeah. So back to the question, do I think algo has ruined the market? I don't. I just think algos don't run the market, and you know. But yeah, if algos want to provide liquidity to me and other traders, like in between the big moves, which is what ultimately I'm trying to catch, then that's great. Options run the market. The people selling the options run the market, right? Because they're the ones with the liquidity. People buying the options, like, options are not there. Options are not there for retailers to make a quick buck. Options are there for big money to hedge their positions. Right? They don't want to be down. They don't want to be down 100% on their Tesla. They want to be down, or they don't want to be 1-for-1 down, dollar for dollar down on their Tesla. They would rather be 50 cents down. If Tesla's down $1, they'd rather be down 50 cents. And that's what options allow them to do, right? Depending on how hedged they want to be. Like, they could be super hedged and be 90% hedged on their Tesla. Or they could be like, no, I think Tesla's going to go up and I only want to be down 20%. Or I only want to be down, 20 cents per dollar. So it really just depends. But that's why options are there. They're not there. They love it when retailers are guessing what they think price is going to do, based on their options. And keep in mind, option sellers can also make money if they're hedging, but they're right? Because how many options expire worthless? If everyone buys a ton of calls on something, it will jump. Only temporarily. Only temporarily. Market makers will figure it out. Market makers will what do they call it? Delta neutral their books. That's why I like watching futures, because when there is an inventory discrepancy, like, where do market makers go? They go to futures. Scalping is the way. Yeah, said 90% of the traders who ran out of money. Right. And then complain that the market is rigged. Right. There's a reason. There's a reason why 90% of the traders fail. And maybe you're in the 10%, but I don't really hand out pats on the back. If you're here for that, it's not going to happen. Let's see. Norfolk Southern. Coin moving higher again. That's nice to see. Paramount moving higher. 2461. $23.39. No, plus 5. 23.39, 2023. Plus 1 plus 2, right? Right? Base of 15? Yep. 24. I'm going to sell some Paramount at 24.56. I just did the math on it. Should have reinvested the money. Well, I mean, you got to live. You got to live a little. There's nothing wrong with taking some of that hard-earned loot and treating yourself or using it to pay bills. That is, if you're using bill money to trade. But yeah, like you should kind of take some of your winnings and reinvest it in something more long-term. What's life or numbers? Maybe I'm slow. I'm slow, Nickel Beer Night. Gotta help me out. What's that mean? Use dollar for freedom of what you want to do in life. Yeah. As long as what you want to do in life is productive. Honestly. Like, be productive. You'll find more, you'll bring more joy and happiness to yourself and others. If you're just blowing it on stupid shit, you're actually gonna probably wind up doing more harm than good. Are strippers productive? Probably not. No. Strippers are just a crutch for not being man enough to really go after what you want, and that's a hot chick. Right? If you like loose, easy women, go find them. Go find them. But that means you have to have a personality and you have to have what they like. Strippers are just people. Strippers are for people that don't want to put in the work. What the heck just happened to SPY? A boatload of sellers just entered the market. Just intraday shenanigans. We did get an extension lower. For me, like, this is just intraday stuff. Like, I don't throw the Fibonacci on the chart for, a small gap like the one we had this morning. But I mean, look, where did they roll over on the fib? Looks about 50%. Strip clubs are a weird bunch of dudes sitting around with owners. I mean, it's not my cup of tea. I've been to a few because friends wanted to go there, and it is kind of fun, but why would I want to spend money to pay for whores to talk to me? Like, I can do that at a bar, right? And there's more fun in it. Right? At least you're actually getting rewarded for some social skills. Like I mean, that's what they're paid to do. Like, go out to a bar. Push yourself. Jesus. Power Play Generac beats earnings estimate. Stock is up. Yep, I saw that. You love to take. I mean, it's just I've just always felt that way. I just feel like it's the shortcut. It's the shortcut, and like you're not really addressing the problem. And the problem is you're lonely. You like loose women. Just generally speaking, if you're going to the strip club a lot, you probably like a little freak, and you need to go find it. More importantly, Houston, she's gorgeous on the inside. Right? Because in the end, in the long run, we all just turn into wrinkly old people. And who do you want to be walking through life with when you're that way? Right? Do you want somebody that's more attracted to dollars and you know, superficial shit? Or do you want somebody that's got a good heart by your side? No one thinks about that these days. I know, which has me a little worried about the future, right? You're going to have a bunch of middle-aged to late-aged people. Like, I'm talking like in their 40s, 50s, and 60s. Like, there's only so much lipo and, you know, body augmentation. There's only so far that you can get with that, right? And so what happens when you really look, like when you stop and say, this isn't working anymore, and you've got nothing. You've got no depth of character, no depth of self-worth. Like, what happens to, you know, most of those people? Like, they become depressed, like wastes. Yep, people get angry. People, and not only that, people get like turned to drugs and alcohol because they're just that's the last escape. So find somebody that's, you know, you're kind of good. And everybody's different, right? I'm not saying that you should be good. Like, you should, the things that make me, that I think are good, are this going to be the same for you. But you generally should have a sense of what's good and what's not. And if you don't, you're fucked. So whatever. Good luck. Just don't go shooting up malls or other public places that I might be at. Roblox, DraftKings. I did get an alert for AFRM, but that's a plus, a buy. DataDog. MicroStrategy, I sold some. Let's look at DataDog here. I'm loving this price action today. What's killing me? Ugh. FCX is taking a dump. That's not good. How did industrial production look today? How did those numbers come in? Datadog, it said it was moving higher. 85. Is this right? Is Datadog like up that much? Wow. Stock. Yeah, Nickel Beer Night. You get a front row seat to society. Yeah, not actually a bad place to be if you like, you know, the study of human behavior and human psychology. And I love it. Stock. Datadog. I love it. Oh shit. I was on the wrong screen. I gotta figure out how to fix that shortcut. There we go. I gotta go left, right? And then I gotta go stock Datadog. What it should do is it should detect which screen I'm on, and when I type stock Datadog, it should go to the screen. That's what it should do. That would be money. Anyway, it looks like I lost my opportunity to sell Datadog. Way to go, Jay. God bless America. Actually, it's still above. It's still above where I wanted to sell it. So I am going to sell it here. I'll keep an eye on it. Just a piece of Datadog. Just a piece is fading. I was supposed to sell it at 85.97. So it's still higher. All right, Datadog done. EGAN already looked at. Roblox, DraftKings. Let's look at DraftKings, baby. DraftKings. Roll. DraftKings, I bought some at 1606 according to this after I bought a piece. Or I'm sorry. I bought a piece after I sold a piece at 1732. Is that accurate? Yeah, that's the first buy. So I can't sell till stock DKNG. I gotta wait till 1828, it looks like, before I can sell my DraftKings. Yeah. That matches. That matches what I have. All right. $17.03 though. What is it at? $17.05? Give me a hot second here. I might be able to sell some DraftKings on my other app. I own some DraftKings on Webull as well. Let's see how much I got here. Whoa. All right. We are going to sell a piece of DraftKings. Sold a piece at 1706. AFRM, I got an alert for AFRM moving higher. We've talked about AFRM a couple times today already. I got faked out by Houston. He was telling me a firm was up 5%. He failed to let me know that it was him that was up 5%. Nice job, Houston, but come on, man. Gets me all excited for nothing. It's all right. I bought a firm 4 times on this move lower. And it is a good time to look at. It is a good time to look at where it's time to sell some. 9 H 2172 H 2230. Just doing the math on my spreadsheet. 1524 is my cost basis. 1607 is where I can sell the first piece according to that. But what's 20% above 1246? 1501. I like that one better. 1502. What the heck? Plus 1503. Once I factor in the buffer, which is 0.6% for really low price stocks like this. Dixie's up. Dixie's moving higher. Really need to change. I've got another screen here that you guys don't see that kind of keeps an eye on the internals for me when I'm like switched to another screen, and it does not have the dollar on it. Which you really need to keep an eye on, especially these days. Can never have too many screens. I agree, man. I agree. I'm running out of space though. But this place is like I mean, I've got places I can put screens. I can put one there. I can put one here. But it's like at some point, yeah, they're first class problems, right? Plus, like, also I feel like I'm taking something, like I'm always fighting with myself over keeping it simple versus complicating it. I think human beings, especially intelligent, engineering mindset human beings, like to complicate things. It's just our nature. And you gotta have the discipline to say, am I making this more complicated than it needs to be? Like, should I like take a step back and make this simple? Like, how many ideas are born? How many great business ideas are born because someone recognizes that something's way too complicated and they can simplify it, and in doing so, make millions of dollars. It's hilarious, right? It's like, this is way too complicated. I'm going to make this simpler. And then I'm going to build my own company where I take something simple that was complex and slowly make it complex again and make lots of money along the way. Because again, it's just human nature. I think it has something to do with survival, right? I think it's like goes back to tribal times where we're like, shit, I need to be useful to the tribe or they're going to kick me out. And then I'm going to be shelterless, and there isn't going to be a supportive group around me. Like, I'm talking like primitive times when we were hunter-gatherers, right? You kind of stuck with the tribe. If you did something wrong, you were out, and wild animals would eat you eventually, right? But if you got to stay with the tribe, like if you were useful, then you got to stick around. SPY is below the 200-day again? Let's see here. Where is the 200-day on my SPY? Here's the 50. Oh, what? Is this the right data box? Where's the data box? I got the 30, 200s, the blue line. Why can't I find it? Here's the looks like the SPY. Oh, so are you saying the 200 period 1 minute chart? Okay, so it's not the 200-day. It's just the 200 period 1 minute. 1 minute, it's still above it. Hold on, I only have the 5 minute. I've only got a 5 minute here. Yeah, it's like, I feel like that can be noisy. I mean, you're talking 200 minutes there, right? One minute at 4:11. All right. Yeah. I mean, sure. I mean, again, I'm not scalping it as much, but how's the VWAP looking? I need to put the VWAP here. Honestly, I got like this implied volatility and RSI stuff. I probably should have the VWAP on this chart here. Because I feel like it does, especially for intraday charts, I feel like your stocks will kind of, abide by the VWAP. I don't even mind accumulating. I think you can set it to accumulate. There should be a way on studies for Thinkorswim to start the aggregations at market open. Like, that would be awesome. But I mean, honestly, with volume being so low after hours, it's like, the aggregations, they just kind of, they matter more when we open. They like to keep it complicated. Yeah, I know. It would be cool. You could just like, hey, I want the VWAP starting at the market open. But I mean, it does really average out. I mean, all this average right here, like all this data before the market open, it's like 10 of these candles and you're just like, you're going to establish the average. So I need to change the colors though. I hate the colors. The VWAP, we're going to make that white. We're going to go 2. The upper band can also be, we'll make it light gray. We'll make it dashed. And it can be 1. so much better. There you go. I haven't found one broker that perfect all. Yeah, honestly, it would be awesome if if a broker came out that, and I think the closest one to it is probably IBKR, but that basically programmatically allowed you to do what you wanted to do with your interface. Thinkorswim's pretty good at it, but not great. But I think IBKR, like if you could take, do you, Nickel Beer Night, do you have any technology experience? Do you write code or anything like that? I know you said you're a bartender, but you dabble in coding or anything like that? You have Python experience? There you go. My Python's a little rusty. I've been doing a lot more in Node. Like PHP, that's where I come from. So I like PHP, but everybody, you talk to engineers nowadays, they're like, PHP? Who uses that shit? And I'm like, people that want to get shit done, not dick around with a bunch of NPMs that do 90% of the work for you because you're lazy as fuck. They're like, whatever, boomer. I'm like, affirm. Moving higher again. Is it time to sell some? No. No. Wish it was. Whatever, boomer. To which I politely reply, eat a bag of dicks. Jay faxing his VHP update. I've got my PHP updates here on this 3.5 inch hard floppy disk. I'm going to need you to upload them to the mainframe. Oh, good stuff. I mean, at this point, PHP has become so bloated. Like, that's what happens when something's open source. Like, just too many people start contributing to it. Yeah. And it just turns into a nightmare, especially from a security and vulnerability perspective. It's just, and then you're just like, why? Like, we can't maintain this. We can't maintain this. Let's just rewrite it in Node or Go. Is Go the still, or it's Rust? Isn't Rust the new one? Let me let's watch these markets, see if we finally get the gap fill. Earlier today, I was saying before markets open that I still had, as long as SPY kind of stayed in this range, I still have $300 or $400 of extrinsic value to roll out of options expiring Friday. And so far, I've been pretty good at pinning SPY this week. And I've already made $100. Like $100 of extrinsic value is rolled out of those options, and I still got $300 to go. So that's obviously helping me, you know, relatively speaking, beat SPY. but I have other positions in the portfolio that aren't doing well. Freeport Mac, copper and gold is having a pretty shitty day. I did want to look at industrial production. Right, industrial production came out. How did that look? Let's see. Capacity utilization down. Doesn't look great. Industrial production year over year down from last month's read. Industrial production flat for month over month. Better than last month, but still, I mean, we're not. Things aren't picking up at the lower levels. Manufacturing production month over month, that's up 1%. The estimate was for a 0.8 read, and last month's was a negative 1.8 read. So a little bit better there. Business inventories come out in line. The National Association of Housing Market, the National Association of Home Builders Housing Market Index is doing better this month than last month. So things picking up in the home builder space. And let's see. Retail inventories ex auto not worse than expected. Like inventories are building. And in 5 minutes, we got oil and gasoline inventories coming out. Today, we also got a 20-year bond auction. Be curious to see what the indirect take on those foreign buying is. Internals got me feeling good about a gap fill. Let's go back to that real quick. I'll show you what I'm seeing. They're pushing this higher, like this is flat. If we were moving lower and the indexes were just being held up by, algos, artificial means, this would still be drifting down. But overall market breadth is improving, as is AD line, as are ticks. So has me feeling good about a continuation move higher, even though we're chopping around here. One thing I'd caution, however, though, is algos in particular. This is just something I've noticed along the way. Algos really put on the, reverse course or put on the brakes at the zero line. And we are hitting the zero line now on breadth. We hit it here. You saw them push it down. We hit it here. Are they going to push it down again? But AD line continues to improve. Ticks, generally speaking, are, moving higher. So there you go. That's what I'm seeing. That's my read. That's the forecast. Relative strength. See, I feel like relative strength is one of those indicators where, and I do have it here, but relative strength is one of those things where I can just look at price action and know, relatively speaking, what the RSI looks like. Right? You're basically just taking the average of the last 14 periods, right? And looking at the price now comparatively speaking to that 14 period average. And so I can look at this. And I can just be like, yeah, relative strength is increasing. So I don't, it's not one of those, it's not something that and I know a lot of traders and algos use it, right? But that to me also indicates that it might be, that also indicates to me that or that it can be used to take advantage of traders. You prefer the WMSR over the RSI? I have no idea what that is. I'll be honest. Williams R. Williams percent R. Let's see here. Williams R. Highest high minus close over highest high minus lowest low. This is what I'm looking at, by the way. The indicator is telling a trader where the current price is relative to the highest high over the last 14 period, or whatever number of look-back periods is chosen. Interesting. But yeah, it's like RSI. It's very similar to RSI. Limitations. Overbought and oversold readings on the indicator doesn't mean a reversal will occur. Overbought readings actually help confirm an uptrend, since a strong uptrend should regularly see prices that are pushing to or past prior highs, what the indicator is calculating. The indicator can also be too responsive, meaning it gives many false signals. For example, an indicator may be in oversold territory and start moving higher, but the price fails to do so. This is because the indicator is only looking at the last 14 periods. As periods go by, the current price relative to the highs and lows in the look-back period changes, even if the price hasn't really moved. All right, let's do initial balance. Because I just got the ding for it. Let's zoom in here so we can get an accurate drawing here. IB 2023-02-15. We'll go to 1029. We'll start at 930. It is tight, isn't it? What do we got there? 21 points. Not too shabby. Certainly smaller than yesterday's. But relatively yeah, this is encompassing. What do they call that in golfing? Yesterday's initial balance, man. Good stuff. Had a lot to work with yesterday. Today, not so much. Let's see what they do with it. EI crude oil inventories actual. That was a build. A 16.283 million build. Holy crap. No, I need to double check that. Oh my God. Weekly refinery utilization is down 1.4%. Gasoline inventories also build. Dude. Imports down. What the fuck? Wow. I love you. Isn't the U.S. oil reserve? Yeah, but it is. And some people argue they're going to have to fill it eventually. But I think obviously things have changed enough in the United States over the past 20 years to make them not make some people, I'm not saying everybody, but I can understand their perspective in that because we have more reserves in the United States than we originally thought we had, in particular shale reserves. There are untapped resources that they feel like in a pinch. Like, remember why the Strategic Petroleum Reserve is there, right? We didn't like the fact that, if the Middle East didn't like us, they could basically shut us down because we wouldn't have oil and refining, and we wouldn't have enough oil to make our own gasoline. They do want to buy at 70, which ultimately means that there's a floor at 70. Which I also think is not good to show our hand like that. Like, why we're like, that's just bad. I think that's really bad strategy, honestly, if I'm being honest. Like, hey, because then you basically tell your enemies, well, this is where we're not going to let price fall below. Right? So, I mean, Russia's already cut production. Like, the Middle East has hinted at cutting production. Like, but a lot of people, like, again, the consensus among some is we don't need as much strategic petroleum reserves because we've got untapped resources here that we could extract relatively quickly. But so that's why they're like, we can drain down these we don't need as many reserves. Plus, they probably also feel like they could sell it. They could sell it cheaper or buy it back cheaper. Una Butinium, welcome in. Oh, you know what? Thanks for doing that, by the way. We had a couple new follows here. I've got some code that I've got running. I'm doing some wicked hardcore things. Enable. Let's see if these follows are coming through. So I basically have been spending. Do you ever walk around and see people not knowing going on what's in the background? I love it. I love people walking around not knowing what's going on, right? Because to me, that's not a problem. That's an opportunity. Like I generally try to see problems as opportunities, not, you know, take the positive side. But yeah, like, and there's like a, for money not the good. Yeah, but I mean, you can't, like, you got to get out of that mentality. Like if the people don't see the good in it, they're not going to embrace it, right? And the only thing that is going to make people embrace good is pain and suffering. And we do too much. We do too much to have to avoid pain and suffering, when ultimately pain and suffering is what the world needs. Complacency is not good for human advancement and ingenuity. And I will say money is a great motivator. So again, pain, good. Good morning, Private. It's not a rant. It's just my worldview. Need more pain and suffering. I mean, I'm not saying, like, and don't get me wrong, I'm not saying like it needs to get really bad. I mean, there are safety nets. There are safety nets in place, and there should be, but when the safety net becomes a hammock, that's when there's going to be problems. Finally got your 20% on Sonos. I love that. How is Sonos doing today? BZFD, I don't own any of that. So, but if you're in it, great. Take a quick look at it here. If I don't know the stock symbol, it's probably trash. And this one is. Stay out of this one. If you're in the trade, great. Congratulations. But this is garbage. This belongs in the spicy trash category. Hey, Cricopaz. By the way, thanks for stopping in, Thick Slim. How are you, friend? BuzzFeed. I should have known it though. Like, I should know BuzzFeed. It's kind of gotten, it's kind of been memeing here, I feel like, the last few months, just because I think some layoffs and stuff. I did get an alert for Hood, Robin Hood. Oh, they've been riding off some AI hype. Buzz. Fitting that AI and BuzzFeed together. 'Cause that's all it is. That's all AI is buzz. It's the shiny object syndrome, right? Hey, what's shiny today? I'm trading it. As if their articles aren't already auto-generated. Yeah, I don't think I read a lot of BuzzFeed, to be honest with you. Maybe it bubbles up to my level eventually, but anyway. I think I wanted to... Did I ever save that server? Back here. Links, tips for beginners, view, index. This is event data file, new follow. Event type equals channel follow. I'm going to just log this out. Error log. Oh, you know what? I am though. Error log. Let me write this log message. New view, new follower. log message equals new follower. And then the username of the Twitch user. Twitch user name. Right, and then error log, the log message. Local dot. Beautiful, right? Did I got that? Is that right? Right off. All right, let's check out the log file here. Let's see if this shiz is working. Feel like I've spent the last year trying to figure this out. Yeah, I got it. Look at this. Unibitamium. Nice. Who else? Siam H. Get some. That's beautiful. Love that. Finally. Morning, guys. How are the internals? They're looking good. I feel like we're filling this gap. Internals to me feel like they want to fill them, but now you've got, I will say that with initial balance now set, you've got that. You've kind of got that as a wall of sorts, a hurdle to overcome, but internals still look good. You've got AD line climbing. RUT has taken the lead as far as stocks. What are my thoughts on the plunge protection team? Well, if you really must know, I always like to joke with people that I'm part of it. I'm part of the plunge protection team because what am I usually doing when markets are moving lower? I'm buying. Is it a conspiracy? No, I think that at times they're probably in there providing some extra liquidity to the markets. But do I think it's used as much? Do I think it's used as much as people think it's used? I don't. Honestly, I just think it's like, markets are moving in the wrong direction. I'm gonna blame it on the PPT because I'm a bad trader. The first June bottom? Let me think back to that. I'm trying to rack my brain on that one. I feel like was the June, remind me again when Great Britain was having the problems with the bonds. What time period was that? Like, I think, as the dollar, when did the dollar roll over? Let's go back and look at the dollar. That was in September. So I'm pretty sure this is where the PPT kind of jumped in. This is when they kind of telegraphed the move to the Fed whisper or whatever his name is, that they were starting to grow a little concerned with the dollar strength, and they were seeing that it was wreaking problems internationally. That's when the PPT will come in. I don't think the PPT cares about like market gyrations, honestly. Like, I don't think they're down there. Now, if those market gyrations have longer, like long-term implications, right? Then you're more, I think you're more inclined to see that group, I forget what that group's called, kind of in there trying to stabilize things. Remember, the Fed, like everybody's like, oh, the Fed's dual mandate, inflation and you know, unemployment. Wrong. The Fed's only job, the Fed's only mandate is dollar liquidity. That's it. That's it. The amount of dollars out there. And not just here, more so abroad. Like that bullshit tinkering CPI and inflation, like inflation data and unemployment, they give two shits about that stuff. I'm telling you. I'm telling you guys, they don't care. Only when it has long-term effects on dollar liquidity. Now this breakout here, like this breakout, like you got to watch this here. You got to watch this breakout here now on this secondary trend line. And obviously now, do we move back to this primary trend line down? They like when the dollar gets stronger, too strong, that's going to be a problem, right? And it's, to me, it's inevitable, right? There's nothing they can do about it. All right, silver. I'm going to try to buy the silver again. If I can get it. Damn, it's so much freaking silver, though. Ugh. All right. I wish silver paid a dividend. Not gonna lie. I mean, I freaking hate just sitting on this pile. Like just this slow accumulating pile. Today we're gonna, well, we kind of don't have a choice. Like things are a lot different now than they were back then. And keep in mind, when Volcker was doing that, when Volcker had to do that, the world was still adjusting to the fact that US dollars were not backed by gold. They weren't even backed by oil anymore, which is why you had the oil embargo. Right? Like the world was adjusting to this notion that you just had to trust the dollar. No, I mean, I don't think it can get any worse. if we drag it out. No, I mean, I don't think that they have any choice. Like the world's already come around to the idea that you just have to trust US dollars. Right? Before it was a lot like, honestly, if you think about it, if you just like look at the grand strategy of how it all played out, like in the beginning, when you're trying to get the world to agree that our currency is the currency that all global international trade is going to flow through, right? It has to be backed by something, right? So it was gold. Then when people started redeeming the dollars for gold, they were like, well, we're not going to do that anymore. And then Kissinger goes over and works out this sweet deal with the Middle East where dollars priced in oil, or oil priced in dollars, are as good as gold. Right? And so that worked for a short time, but then, you know, people lost faith in that. It was backed by a commodity that we really didn't have a lot of to begin with. And so then the United States basically just had to say, look, you got to trust us. Right? We're the world's best. We're the world's greatest economy. We have the firepower to defend it. You just got to trust us. And over the next, you know, once they got over that bump, once they got over that initial shock, like honestly, you saw the world embrace the dollar, right? Look at interest rates. Look at treasuries from basically that point forward. Right? Everybody was buying dollars and converting their dollars for treasuries. So demand for treasuries, demand for dollars, where the Fed has kind of the Federal Reserve and central banks in general lost control is they really didn't put much controls over the kinds of derivatives and the kinds of things you could do with dollars that lived outside of the United States, right? And how much control do you really have in those things? Like, if I've got a pile of dollars, let's say I'm a businessman, an international businessman, and I got a pile of dollars burning a hole in my pocket, right? I like holding dollars because they're more liquid and the value of them is going up, generally speaking. Like, what do? I put them in a bank that's going to pay me interest on those US dollars in a foreign bank, right? And it happens, right? Banks in other countries, other places around the world say, hey, do you have US dollars? Open up an account with us. We will pay you interest on those US dollars. And then what do the banks do? What do the banks always do? Fractional reserve lending. Fractional lending. They take $1 deposit and turn it into $10 a debt or $9 a debt, as long as their reserve ratios, right, maintain. And here's the kicker. The kicker here is that the Federal Reserve has no control over what banks outside of the United States do with their dollars. They're effed. If they wanted to leverage that out to 100, not their problem. But what does it do? What does it do if nothing breaks? It creates more demand for dollars, right? Because now the bank that has to pay the interest back to the guy that deposited his US dollars is ready for his interest payment. They got to go buy more dollars, right? And they got to hope that all the dollars they lent out they're getting payment back in US dollars. Look at how much debt in the United States, or how much debt around the world, is dollar denominated. The US runs the world. Yeah, this is a drop in the bucket though. This is I get it. This is a big deal, but this is a drop in the bucket, honestly. This will correct itself. This is why I think the Fed isn't as concerned about this kind of stuff hurting our markets. Like, they want more dollars being created because hopefully those dollars make it out to the rest of the world where there is seriously a shortage. Seriously a shortage of dollars, and you saw it. You've been seeing it slowly happening. Look at the run up in dollars over the past 2 years. Well, I mean, it's got to trickle somewhere, right? That's why that's one of the reasons we don't mind sending billions of dollars over to Ukraine, right? Here, take these dollars, do something with them. By the way, you're going to have to pay us back. Trickle down, it's a lie. It's not a lie. It's not a lie. We just don't like where it's trickling to. It trickles. Yeah. Well, I mean, generally wealth accumulates. It always has. Wealth has always accumulated at, with intelligent, good people that are good with money. What's the end game? I don't know. Probably at this point, regional currencies that then the central banks exchange. But even then it gets tricky. Like they won't let it float. That's the problem. Like, there's just not enough cooperation. I think ultimately short-term end game for the dollar strength causes the system to freak out. What to watch for there? If you really want to know end game for the dollar, watch dollar strength and gold and silver strength. Like, if the dollar and gold are moving higher together, that's not a good sign. And that's what you have to watch out for. But, and I'm not talking like over a day or a week. Like, I'm talking over years. Don't let it depress you. Just look for the opportunity. Like, we'll work it out. It'll work out. We might have to work it out over war, proxy wars in particular. But hopefully cooler minds prevail. You got to have hope, man. Why do you think I'm out here talking about this stuff all the time? I'm not trying to make friends. It's just a platform for me to enrich the masses. Don't you think the futures are digital currencies, not regional? Not talking about crypto? Do I think the futures are the digital? Oh, do you think the futures are digital currencies? No, I don't. I don't think any central bank digital currency lasts, honestly, because they're just going to make the same mistakes they make with their other currencies, with their real currencies. So I think they'll generally fall on, Do I have a new gig yet? No, I'm just kind of hanging out. I don't really need a new gig right now. Go morning time, killer dude. How's China exporting inflation without having a strong yuan? They don't have a strong yuan. They want a weak yuan. China's not exporting. Inflation in the true sense is not happening. This is simple supply and demand dynamics. And honestly, that's always affecting prices. Supply chain dynamics, pushing demand forward, but that's not inflation. That's just moving the lines on the supply demand chart. We're getting poorer, maybe relatively speaking, but in general, the world's wealth is growing, including at the bottom. You may not like the spread between the bottom and the top, but everybody's doing better. I mean, you can just look at, per capita GDP. It works. Do I think computers will lower, or companies will lower prices when inflation comes? I mean, I think they'll have to, right? What's the saying? The solution to inflation is inflation, right? What's going to happen if company XYZ doesn't lower their prices? A competitor's going to come in and they're going to take market share. It's the same as it's always been. And someone else is going to come along and say, I can make pretzels cheaper than these guys. You also don't think they will lower prices? I think just go back and take a cursory, generic macroeconomics course or read a macroeconomics book. They don't have a choice. If they want to survive. Well, I mean, fortunately, basic economics 101, I mean, you could probably just buy a book or even do some simple research on Google or watch a video on YouTube. I mean, it's pretty basic stuff. I think they should be teaching economics in high school. I mean, I got to take economics in high school. And I love it. I mean, who doesn't love I love human psychology, and so like the consumption habits of human behavior, or human behavior in terms of consumption, like, that's awesome. That's awesome to me. So, correlates money? Absolutely correlates. I don't have psychology and life in my tagline just because. Like, it's all together. All right, getting a run here. Up. How come? Aleknia says, how come someone will come and say, I will sell this for X amount lower than the big sharks, when in the third world countries there's a huge monopoly? I don't know. I mean, maybe you have to give me a specific example. Like, maybe this will apply in the first world countries, but not the third world. That's what I mean. If a third world country doesn't allow commerce, capitalism to flourish, then yes, absolutely. But I mean, at that point, it really just becomes, you know, something that the people need to take care of. Saying prices will go down. Yeah, but I'm just having trouble like connecting the dots between what you said about selling something. Like, give me a specific example of something somebody's selling that they have a huge monopoly over. Maybe that's where we need to start. Because, I mean, when it comes to, like, basic materials, I mean, I think it just comes down to investment. Like, in just getting behind on supply and demand dynamics. I have a hard time believing that anybody's got a huge monopoly. Right? But competition's not going to spring up overnight. It takes time. You know, the cure for, like, the saying is, the cure for higher prices is higher prices. Right? Because, and if you look at this, like, if you look at this from from just a overall perspective, like a larger time frame perspective, what are the three biggest things that push prices lower, right? What are the three things that ultimately put downward pressure on prices? It's debt. We have a lot of that. It's demographics. We got that. A lot of old people not spending as much money. And disruptive technologies. And there certainly isn't a lot of that. Or there certainly is a shit ton of that. Those are the things that push prices down, generally speaking. And I will argue that the things that where prices are being pushed up artificially is where central authorities, governments, what would you call them? Cartels are artificially adjusting prices, or artificially, you know, putting floors or ceilings on prices. But a free market system fixes all those problems. A firm moving higher. Good discussion. Remember, good people can disagree. You said that when inflation comes down, prices will also go down. Well, I believe that in first world countries this could happen, but in third world countries, ones won't be possible because in these countries, the economy market is based on a few corporations like Pfizer, Little, Audi, Shell, which own everything. I don't agree. I have a hard time believing that there's this huge shadowy monopoly, you know, that's keeping prices higher. Like what? Good people need to look out for other. No, I feel like good people should give people the tools to rise themselves up. So if that's looking out for them, sure. But giving them a hand up, not a hand out, is the difference. Like, and honestly, guys, we're not going to solve the problems here. Problems aren't going to, we're not going to solve anything talking about it here. There's a difference between a hand up and a hand out. Right? And unfortunately, not enough people give a shit to rise up. Yeah, I have a hard time believing in the shadowy, you know, figures, the invisible hand, as it were, moving pieces, and we have no control over it. Like, it's just, I don't know. Like, I'll bet on my worldview, and you bet on your worldview. I do every day. That's why I trade. That's why I invest. We'll see who winds up. We'll see who winds up more wealthy because the lobbyists are holding me down. It's all Fugazi. Yeah, I generally repel away from things that are outside of my control. I can only worry about the things that are in my control. And I'm not gonna change. Like, I'm not gonna change like how I'm executing, how I'm, you know, doing day to day based on, you know, things that are outside of my control. All I can do is understand the things that are outside of my control and position myself to take advantage of it. Not worry about, you know, not have the bleeding heart that, you know, the world's a horrible place. What about a gold standard or Reaganomics? Two different things, right? I think you meant Reagan. Yeah, Ronald Reaganomics. The gold standard, a currency has to be elastic. So that's why the gold standard eventually fails, right? In order for a currency, especially a global currency, to be able to expand and contract when it needs to, it can't be tied to a physical commodity. And Reaganomics, again, I look at per capita wealth during Ronald Reagan's years, and I have a hard time believing that it ruined anything. I've heard people argue, and I tend to agree, that it ushered in the information age. The money that was freed up to unlock the things that we take for granted now happened during those years, during the 80s and the 90s. Or you think that just happened by accident? Yeah, the money was already at the top. They just freed the money up at the top to invest in the things that we all love. Right? The internet. Think about the way the world was back in the 80s as far as information and the power to move money, or all of those things. Medicine. Like you think that all just happened by accident? You don't think taking the top marginal tax rate from like 70% down to 30% didn't have something to do with that? Yeah, it's like, it's crazy to me that people are like, oh, things are so much worse now than they were back. I'm just like, what fucking planet are you living on, man? Yeah, I mean, it's one of those things. I don't know if, you know, it is what it is. I'm not here to... No one can get a job out of college, though? What do you... Where are you reading this garbage? Like, what? Like, who's feeding you this worldview stuff? I think you just need to change your I don't know. I don't want to, I'm not trying to insult you. Like, for sure. Like, it's just like, look, it's an opportunity. We can just all improve what we know and what we don't know. I went in a college town, everyone has a degree and everyone is in the service industry. I mean, it really depends on what they went to college for and how motivated they are to find a job doing what they're well versed in. Right? If the jobs aren't in your area, you got to move. You got to take personal responsibility for what you know and supply and demand. Like, you don't get a job just because you went to college. But to make the, I think to make the statement, no one can get a job out of college, or ask the question, begs the question, where did that come from? Everyone was told, gotta go to college to get a good job, hence the massive student base. Well, I mean, yeah, if you blindly believe what some people say, then yeah, you're gonna get screwed. And how a tough lesson, a painful lesson to learn, but that's just stupid. Right? And for those people that fell into that trap, don't do that next time. It's not still going on now. It's not. Look at how many organizations, grassroots organizations are promoting like blue collar work and doing, you know, finding your passion and doing that as opposed to just mindlessly going to college, getting a degree in whatever's easiest to pass, and then expecting a job to be there for you when you leave. Like, when did that happen? right? Yeah, it happened over a lot of years because people are stupid. And you talk and you want to talk about people looking out for each other? How did that happen? Look, here's the clue. Here's generally the clue when things are going to get bad. When the government gets involved, look at all the shit the government gets involved in and the prices. College, healthcare, right? Like, when are people going to learn? We deserve what we get. Right? Yeah, I'm not gonna start on it. I'm just pointing it out. You want the market to work for you? Stop hoping that someone rides in and saves the day. According to the European Central Bank, more people are relying on digital payments. I mean, Visa and MasterCard and a lot of the credit card companies have been doing it for 20 years. Right? Who do you think makes digital payments possible? You're trying to make money to leave the United States? Well, good luck to you. Like, no, you're not, like, this notion that you're going to get handed things, to you because, you do what someone else tells you to do. I think it's a bad way to go. Honestly. Yeah. I think according to the European Central Bank, more people are relying on digital payments. That's why, I just go back to, digital payments have been around for, look at how much digital payments have done already. Even before we introduced decentralized technology like crypto. But a digital euro, that's just, it eventually has to track back into a currency that the world uses to transact. And what is that? That is the US dollar. That's not going away anytime soon. And sure, if they want to kind of roll out a digital euro, it'll just be another failure, kind of like the euro we have now. Other countries are much better at looking out for the well-being of the whole. Again, who? Name one. Name one, and let's then talk about all the problems that they have. Right? I'd love to hear one. Right? Because if there's one thing that will ruin a society and a country, generally speaking, it's again giving people a false sense of security. Norway, Denmark, Japan, yeah, all getting ready to fail in one form or another. Norway, Denmark, and Sweden are walking into World War III, and Japan's currency is about to collapse. You want to see problems? Wait till that happens. But yeah, go live there. Only problem is when you realize that you've made a big fucking mistake, they're not going to let you leave. You're going to have to escape. I am not tired of the BS we have. I wake up every day and can't wait to see what opportunity the world brings me. I can wade through the gnats. For another mass shooting? It's just like, really? You have a better chance of getting hit by lightning than dying in a mass shooting. Like, yeah. Again, this is like this is honestly why your trading strategy isn't great either. Like your worldview. Your worldview sucks. This is Jay. Hello. I'm good. How can I help you? It's fine. I have not used any of those in my past. It's fine. It's a telemarketer. I don't mind. Like, if I look at the call. If it's somebody important, I'll mute it. What's the song by Jimmy Buffett? Changes in attitudes, changes in latitudes. Just need to change your worldview, man. You're missing the greatest time in human beings' existence. Have I traveled? Yeah, when I like to. I like to travel. I mean, I don't travel just because. Like, I don't travel to like get more cultured. I travel to entertain myself. Be thankful at least you don't get calls from Medicare, Medicaid. That gate getting worked on. It has not gapped. Has not gapped yet. The gape has not gapped. Or the gape. Hold on a sec. Even I get it confused. That gape getting gapped. Yeah. If it hasn't filled, it's the gape getting gapped, not the gap getting filled. Oh, that guy's an ass clown. He still gives me trouble in other streams too. That guy is a total tool. What other type of clown? I don't know. There's circus clowns, right? But I wouldn't call them ass clowns. I would actually call them smart clowns, right? They're getting paid. They're getting paid to be a clown. Sounds pretty smart. Like an ass clown actually thinks, you know, an ass clown doesn't know that they're a clown. Almost filled it. Technically, we've almost filled it. All right, let me look at a firm. I got the order in. I need to look at Hood too. This was a good talk, but let me see. Yeah, I mean, I think it's awful. Mom jokes are awful, but that like I generally find most mom jokes to be pretty just like eye roll, okay. I haven't heard that one before. That one was kind of good. And then, you know, then he was like, hey, I'm sure she's probably a very nice woman. Yeah, it was a softball. But Thick Slim, get your mind out of the gutter. I generally wonder that people who are quick with mom jokes actually had mothers that are like the mothers they're trying to describe. And they're just like, I know how this feels. I can relate. Yeah, well, I mean, if your mom is letting, you know, the gap fill, then she probably is really nice, or at least a lot of people think she is. Am I allowed? I mean, it's political questions are kind of tricky, but I mean, I'll entertain a political thought or two from time to time. I generally try to see the gray area in politics and not absolutes. Like, I know what both sides are trying to do. And so I generally make fun of people that are passionate. I generally make fun of people that are passionate about anything that they have no control over. Right? And as long as it's okay to disagree, sure. Right? I've been told that the way I argue is extremely polarizing. That I'm too quick-witted, my memory is too good, and anecdotal and the rules that apply to thee do not apply to me. Me being the person that is, you know, I'm going back and forth with. I was listening to Jay Arlington talk about how he needed to get his teeth fixed, and I made the clever comment. But I mean, that's the humor over in his channel. That's generally the humor, right? They're always talking like stuff like that. I even wrote it. Yeah, I mean, Jay Arlington's awesome. Everybody go check out Jay Arlington. Just don't be expected to have a good conversation over there, because most of the people over there, well, not most of the people, I just think there are a few bullies over there that kind of like dictate what is and what's not talked about. And there are some real savory fellas over there. Oh, and yeah, he's like, when you want to talk about like actual stock stuff, that guy's golden. It's just, I feel like there's too much talking about it over there and not enough trading it. Everybody wants to look at the charts and be like, what should I do? Should I buy here? Should I sell here? Look at this candle. Look at this trend line. Oh my God, what did it do last month? What did it do before earnings last quarter? Oh my God, should I buy puts? Should I buy calls? It's like, shut the fuck up and just take a stand. And have a plan if it doesn't go well. Honestly. Thanks, Jay. You gave me the confidence to take a stand. I'm going to make chili for lunch today. I love that. Highest to lowest. Where would I be on? Oh my God. It's just, you really gotta, oh, yeah. I mean, that's ultimately where you want to go. Look at that. The stock guy's up there. I've got some chili in the freezer that I'm going to be cracking into at some point. Hey, speaking of, I'm not going to name names because, you know, they never like to hang out here. And they love to hang out here and ignore me. But yeah. Speaking of people that love to shout you down and you know, pretend that because they're louder than you and take you out of context, like in front of others, like somebody just stopped by. Thanks for stopping by and ignoring me, jackass. Do I believe the reserve currency of the world would continue to be USD even though Russia is trying to make a move on it? Yes. Yes. There's so much changes dynamically. So much has to change for another currency to become the world's reserve currency. Let me shoot you a link. Let me see if I can find it. Like this. Like, I love listening to people talk about how, you know, the US dollar's on its last legs, and like it's comical to me. Let me see if I can't track it down. I should have Hold on a sec. Oh, here, maybe this is it. Nope, that's not it. Oh, maybe it's this one. Nope, that's not it. I'm gonna find this, and I should have done this. God damn it. This guy gave a really great breakdown of why the US dollar, by the way, gap's pretty much filled at this point. And I want to find it because it does a really good job in just kind of explaining all the pieces of global finance the US dollar touches and how they would never be able to just like get rid of that. Three months. I think it was before that. 3 months. 2 months. That's not it. Damn it. All right, I think I'm getting closer. What does it mean? It's going to take me a while to find it, guys. I'm sorry. Hang in there. I'm still looking for it. I think it was 3 weeks ago. If you find it, can you share it on your Twitter page? I can also Alechnia whisper it to you for sure. It's you know what? I think I actually hold on. I might have just found it actually. I think I got it. I just found it actually. Watch that video. I generally like Jeffrey Snyder a lot. He's on my short list of people to watch. It really goes into what a reserve currency is, what it's supposed to do. And he kind of breaks down why that'll never happen. Start at the beginning though. I started it at 77 seconds in. I'm going to put this link on my links page. Great article. In fact, I should take it. I should rip it. All right. Market's strong here. Again, money seems to be flowing in. Like and today's stronger. I would say right now the day is stronger than yesterday in that look at like my tick data is improving. It's actually been improving since noon yesterday. Just kind of like that gradual march up. Cumulative ticks marching higher. Obviously, earlier today I mentioned internals looking good. They are marching higher now. It's just a good, strong. It's just, again, it's that melt up that we talked about late last week and early this week with it being OPEX. I love you. Right. And what happens during OPEX, you know, people who are underwater in their puts and calls, and I'm talking about the institutional class money, right? The people that are buying and selling SPX, well, let's just say selling SPX, right? They're selling SPX options because they have they have a theory, can't think of the word, about what they think markets are going to do, and they're going to have to extend that, right? If their view hasn't changed, they just need more time, they just need more duration, then they're going to do what most option traders do, and that's roll them. And when you see the slow grind up, like every time it looks like, you know, markets are going to head lower and then they just start drifting higher, that's OPEX. That's your gamma trade as traders roll out. So, yeah. Am I surprised? Am I surprised that markets, you know, everybody said going into this week that this was going to be a bad week, right? That markets were definitely going to move down. And like, I think once again, people probably got too short and are now having to deal with that pain in addition to everybody who's got a, you know, whose thoughts on the markets, you know, are that, you know, they can afford to extend duration, right? And so now after this week, things might change, but at this rate, I think it's just going to be more of the same all week, honestly. And it means that I got to make a decision on my options. Like I've got that 412, 405 spread, that strangle that, you know, I'm still wrestling with. It's making me money. Like I'm up $100 on it today. Like, but I really should be extending duration at this point. You know, I'm up almost $500 in the trade itself. The problem is extending duration means I also have to extend, or by extending duration or spreading it out. Like ultimately, I'd like to spread that out, right? I'd like to say, I'd like to take 405, the 405, 412 strangle and roll it out to, well, adjust it and roll it out to 405 or, well, let me see. I'll do some math on it now because maybe there is a good buy out there. Like I can roll it out to the 21st. I can go 415, 408. But I'm like, what am I getting for an extra 4 days of duration where shit could go, where shit could happen? Right? Hey, Poker Matrix TV, thanks for the raid, buddy. How was your trading day? You buy that dip? Shout out to Poker Matrix TV. Everybody go check out Poker Matrix TV. European trader. I think I spelled that right, didn't I? Thanks for the raid, buddy. Hope all is well. Got whipsawed first, but finally got a good long. Nice. Nice. Yeah, they filled the gap. I don't feel like there's enough news and enough data coming out to dissuade gap fillers, right? Poker Matrix TV. Yeah, so they changed the way streams work on Twitch. Like before, you would, when you raided somebody, you would then be hosting them, but they got rid of the hosting. And so if you forget to end your stream after you raid, like people could stop by. You guys ever get a pack of crackers that's been dropped and now they're all
This
crumbling?
whole day is ruined.
Yeah, it's a recent change. I mean, it's been like if you raid somebody like in the before, I want to say it's been longer than that though. I want to say it probably happened maybe last summer when you used to raid somebody, used to host it. Remember how you used to have hosting parties where basically someone could stop by your channel and like you could be hosting somebody else? They got rid of that. And now when you raid, if you don't end your stream, like people can come by your stream and like you never went away. So then you raid, then you got to raid again. Then you be like, guys, I ended the stream. I just raided, Thick Slim. I just raided Jay Jared. I'm out of here for the day. I mean, I can raid you again, but just leave. So, it happens to me every once in a while. You wanted to raid Amaranth? I wouldn't be surprised if, like, she's got it so that people can't raid her unless you're, like, on her list. I've tried raiding some people before, and they won't let me raid them either. So, Amaranth's not getting one of my raids, though. I wouldn't want to class up the place. There's another guy I like. I don't know if anybody's familiar with Fortnite. Like, his name's Cypher PK. He's quite the streamer. All right, look at this. Look at this. Look at this. Gap fill and then breakdown here. We're back into initial balance here. Let's see if bulls come in here and make a move higher. Let's also look at if we got a gap fill. Definitely got a gap fill on the rut. Small cap's been leading the move higher. And yeah, we filled the gap on NASDAQ too. That's where it looked like we rolled over. Right here on this gap fill. 1, 2, 3. Where did we hit it? Actually, we hit that gap fill right here. And then we got a little extension. And then the bears were like, what? All right, let's not get carried away here. Know your role. No, actually, it was the S&P gap fill. Look at that. That's where we rolled over. Don't mess with the S&P, boys. I thought that guy you rated a couple times, Terrible Trader, was a Fortnite streamer. I mean, we go there and it sounds like a bunch of kids talking. We don't even notice the